Kim Kardashian, she was the most recent guest host on Saturday Night Live. And we all know that the jokes that she did, the monologue, it was written for her. I highly doubt that she wrote everything and she was, just sharing it from the top of her dome, or she, planned it out and gave it to the staff and had it on a teleprompter and was reading it from there. I completely believe that the jokes were written for her, okay? So, with that being said, Kim Kardashian is Kim Kardashian, and just because things were written out for her doesn't mean that they had to be said and done. If she did not want to do it, or she didn't feel comfortable with it, or, felt that it was in poor taste. So everything that she said, she 100% was agreeable with, and she moved forward and she did it. Now, there were a number of things that were just kind of like, but the thing about Nicole Brown Simpson and OJ Simpson and, the joke that she made about, the first black person, like, first and foremost is like, who says something like that? So I don't believe that line right there should have been something that was said. It's just extremely like, who does that? Who says that? It's so it's just really, I don't honestly, here we go. I don't have words for it. I have no words for that. The first black person I met. She says, her father was and still such an influence and inspiration to me. And I credit him with really opening up my eyes to racial injustice. And it's because of him that I met my first black person. So, okay, that right there was extremely offensive because her father was a lawyer. He was one of the attorneys that was representing OJ Simpson. And she's basically saying the first black person I met was a criminal or accused of a crime. And it is because of my daddy, who was an attorney that represented this criminal, was the reason why I met my first black person. So that right there alone, I haven't really heard anybody say anything about that, but that was extremely disrespectful and low. However you feel about OJ Simpson, it's just like very in poor taste. Very just like, I don't know how you, being someone who's been married to a black man all these years, pretty much the majority of your sisters have been with black women. Your brother was with a black woman, had a child with a black woman. Your mommy is dating a black man. Like, you all love black men and love having black men up in you, but you're going to say that the first black person you met was because of your dad, because he was representing a criminal. So that right there alone, I just wanted to point that out. I don't know if anybody missed that part, but that extremely uncomfortable. Okay. But then she says, want to take a stab in the dark at who it was. I know it's sort of weird to remember the first black person you met, but OJ does leave a mark, or several, or none at all. I still don't know. So again, she may not have written these jokes. I doubt she did. But she read them. She went along with it. She said it, so she was agreeable to it. So the first part of that joke, talking about the first black person you met was a criminal, and the second part of that joke, joking about this man murdering someone that was good friends with your mother. Nicole Brown Simpson. It was reported that she and Kris Jenner were really good friends, and there's even rumors that OJ is actually Khloe's daddy. I don't know how true that is. That's never been proven, but it's definitely something that a lot of people have believed after those rumors have come out, and how much she's tried to chisel her face down to not look like she has that big oblong, shaped head like OJ does, because she didn't really look like the rest of her sisters. So it was always questionable who is the real daddy. But anyway, I digress. She made those comments, and Nicole Brown Simpson's sister, Tanya Brown, she came out and she made a statement, and she said that the jokes were in poor taste and beyond inappropriate and insensitive. And she also, like I was just talking about, she brought up that Kim's mom, Kris Jenner, was actually good friends with Nicole Brown Simpson. So again, I don't believe Kim wrote the jokes. I highly doubt she wrote the jokes, but she went along with them. And I don't think that she just came out and on the spot, she read the teleprompter and that's the first time she saw it. I believe they prepared her for it and she knew what she was going to say, but she still read from the teleprompter. And, you know, these chicks, they do anything for money. They don't really care about other people's feelings. They, you know, they do a lot of shady stuff. And so it's like, who cares about somebody that lost their life? Who cares if, you know, this person, you know, he was found not guilty. I know a lot of people say they believe he did it. He wrote a book saying, if I did it. And he's talked about several times how he's going to find the, you know, the killer, and we haven't really seen him in this, you know, heavy duty search to find that person or persons, but that's neither here nor there. The jokes definitely were dark. And so with that being said, yeah, it was all in poor taste. It should not have been said. However you feel about Nicole Brown Simpson, but they actually also were talking about this on a recent episode of TGIF on Fox Soul with Claudia Jordan, Funky Dineva, and Al. And I was disheartened and a little bit surprised and shocked by their responses with it. They were just pretty much like, well, you know, it's par for the course. This is comedy. You know, Saturday Night Live, they write the jokes. She was just reading it. She didn't write the jokes, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, something that Claudia Jordan said that really disturbed me. I'm going to play it and then I'm going to just finish up my commentary on that.
That's amazing. I don't recall Nicole Brown's sister really complaining about O.J. Simpson when her sister was alive and he was whooping her ass. Not till she was dead. Then all of a sudden, all these horror stories come out. And my thing is this, you know, I get being offended, and she should. That's her sister. We can't tell her to get over it, right? Mm-hmm. But I find when the money's flowing and things are happening that you're okay with, like, I don't remember really there being this big outcry when you know.
No, because she was been taken care of. That's the way it goes. The same way Whitney Houston whole family sat back and knew she had a problem and didn't have her committed to no doggone drug place.
And not to say your feelings are valid, but you know what? It would be nice if you make those very real feelings valid when the person's still alive and you can actually do something about it, because now it kind of feels empty. And again, Me Too-ish, bandwagon-ish. Oh, I'd like to add to that. Nah, you were quiet when your sister was getting her ass beaten. You probably could have prevented some of this, but all right. We're going to be mad at Kim K.
All right, so you heard what she said, and I don't think that had anything to do with. I don't think that had anything to do with this. I just felt like why did you say that, and where did that come from? Now, I believe Claudia Jordan, you know, was friends with Kim Kardashian at some point, maybe. So maybe she's just, you know, team Kim because of having that connection at some point in time. But why would she make a comment about Nicole Brown Simpson's sister not saying anything when OJ was allegedly, but, you know, Claudia didn't say allegedly, but she said, you know, she didn't say anything or make any comments about OJ allegedly beating, you know, her sister, but now you're angry about this. One, that situation happened so many years ago, and two, who is to say that she was, if they were in an abusive, you know, relationship and her sister was in an abusive marriage, who's to say that if her sister was telling her about it, that she wasn't encouraging her to get out? We don't know that. And so I just felt like that comment, that could have been left out of this. I really was disappointed by her saying that, because I just don't believe that any one of us can say that if Nicole Brown Simpson was in an alleged abusive relationship with O.J. Simpson, that her family, if they knew about it, because one, let's say if they knew about it, they didn't encourage her to get out. Now, so I just didn't know where that came from. So, and even if she was in an abusive relationship and she wasn't actively and proactively trying to get her sister to leave this man, should that mean that she should be okay with someone making a joke about the way her sister allegedly died. Again, he wasn't found guilty criminally, but he was found civilly to be in the wrong. I don't believe that Nicole Brown Simpson's family sued her. I believe it was just the guy that lost his life. His father and, you know, family, they sued OJ Simpson civilly and they won. So I just don't know like why that comment was made. So that was extremely distasteful. But I just want to know like why Kim had to go there. Again, you know, we know they do everything for the views, and Saturday Night Live, I'm quite sure, could use those views, which is one of the reasons why they had Kim Kardashian to be the host anyway, because the chick has got more followers than, you know, it seems like she's got more followers than God right now, definitely on social media. So why wouldn't they have her to be a guest host so that they can get those eyeballs on their show? Because the people who follow her, they're going to want to see it, they're going to want to watch it, they're going to want to support her, and in turn it supports their show and it supports their ratings. So she could have, I believe, left it alone and not went there, but she did, and it's not really that big of a shock and surprise because anything for the ratings and the money, right? Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.